So I am Cheryl with the 502 Revue, and I am here tonight with the lovely and talented Sasha Renee.
Hello.
And we're going to talk to her a few minutes. Sasha, for the people who may not know who you are and what you do, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you bring to the Louisville music and arts community.
Okay, so I'm a 24-year-old hip-hop artist. Do a little bit of neo-soul, a little bit of old-school hip-hop. In addition to that, I coordinate my own events, host events. I have a hip-hop blog. I have a weekly open mic. I've connected with a bunch of different artists here on the scene, and I like to say I'm a connector.
So tell me, at what point in your life growing up, you're still really young, did you decide that this is what you wanted to do with your time?
Like, I started writing raps when I was 10. So that's kind of where it started. I had been in love with music. Like, my daddy was a big Nas fan, hip-hop fan. My mama listened to a lot of Erykah Badu and Lauryn Hill. So, like, I had those influences growing up, and then I started writing when I was 10 years old. I didn't actually start, like, thinking about pursuing music as a career or recording music until I was 19. It was my sophomore year in college at U of L, and a couple of the guys in the dorm had a studio set up in a room in the dorm that happened to be soundproof. So they had a studio set up, and I just kind of came in there and started kind of paying attention to what they were doing. And one day I asked to get on one of the songs, and like I noticed that everybody was feeling, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, are you serious? Why are you not doing this full time? You know, so I just jumped on it from there. Like, I started writing my own songs, going to record them, and then finding out how do I get people, you know, to hear this. So then, you know, I'm going to social media and I'm promoting that music that I'm putting together. And then I'm like, well, I can't just do this on the internet. I kind of got to get out on the scene and maybe start networking with some people, finding out how I can perform. So that's how I got started. What was that, about 5 years ago?
So are there any themes that you think that come up quite often in the songs that you like to do?
Just in general, everything I do is kind of real life stuff. I do have fun with my music here and there, but for the most part, like, I like to talk about love. I like to talk about social justice issues. I like to talk about having a good time, so drinking, smoking, you know what I'm saying, enjoying yourself, being positive. I like to talk about my career in music and how much I love music, and I like to talk about making it to the next level, you know what I'm saying, so I pretty much stay on those topics.
What do you think influences you to write the way that you do?
I mean, definitely all of the artists that I appreciated growing up kind of did that, like tackle social justice issues, love, and enjoying yourself, being positive, and having a good time. So I think I just kind of mimic and do the same thing because I love those artists, and, you know, like I named some of those people, Nas, Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu. Like, I strive to be that type of artist in the industry one day. So.
Now, when you're up on stage, I've noticed you project a lot of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that comes natural to you? Or are you just naturally a confident person? Is that something you had to develop? Or what kind of things do you do to kind of build that up in yourself?
Not always. So if we take it back 5 years ago, when I first did my first show, you would have seen a completely different person. A lot of artists and promoters come to me all the time, and they was like, you don't realize how much you've grown. And I'm like, yeah, I do. Because like I get on stage and I feel confident. I used to be a complete like nervous wreck before I would do any performance, before I would do anything, you know what I'm saying, with a camera in front of me, anything of that sort. So I've just grown a lot. It was about just doing it and knowing this is what I want to do in the long run. So I can't be nervous. I have to be confident. You know what I'm saying? You want to be an artist and an entertainer. You can't be nervous. You have to be confident. So it was just something I kind of worked on over time. I found myself at one point, 2013 to 2014, going so hard that I was doing 3 or 4 shows a week on top of working my 9-to-5 job. You know what I'm saying? Like a real deal struggling artist. Just trying to get it off the ground, you know, and I promoted so hard online on top of doing shows. I looked up and people out of town were booking me, and I couldn't always make it, but when I can, like, you know, I go out of town and do shows and stuff too, and it's the confidence is just built over time, like having people tell me how dope I was, you know what I'm saying? Like it feels good and it makes you naturally like a little more confident. So now it feels really natural, but no, it didn't a few years ago.
Fantastic. That's definitely my big takeaway from you, is just that you just project this air of I've got this, and I that's one of the things I've appreciated about you in particular. Tell me about the local music scene and the people that you know come to your events. Are these people that you've known for a long time, or do they find you? Do you find them? How do you?
I found these people through networking, like. Personally, I only have a very, very small circle of friends, but through doing music within the local scene here, I've met so many people that like love and respect me and vice versa. So we just kind of support each other, you know what I'm saying? I'll name a person that's been doing their thing on the scene for a long time, Maxwell, in Maxwell Sounds. He puts on a ton of open mics in different showcases like that. So you know, I met him when he asked me to come out. He dropped a message on Facebook and like, hey, I came across your music, heard you're a really dope, you know, individual. You got to start coming to these Maxwell Sounds events. And he set me up with one, and just going in those spaces, I met a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, and getting to know him. I kind of looked at what he was doing and said, well, I know all these people over here that Max doesn't even know that I've met from various venues and events, you know what I'm saying? Like, why not bring that together? So that's kind of what happened. It was about not being selfish. I had to be selfless and kind of like say, well, how can I network even more for myself? So I built the platform that I have, my weekly open mic, and I was like, well, that's how you do it, kind of like Maxwell's approach, like bring people to your space and say, hey, here, this is where you can showcase your talent. Like, I'll showcase mine as well, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it just creates another space to network and build those relationships out of love and respect and mutual understanding.
Do you think this is a friendly music scene? Where do you see the local scene? Do you think it's pretty happening right now, or would you see a lot of room for?
It is growing tremendously. So like, I think now I'm in a space where, for the most part, everybody's positive. People can work together. There's a mutual understanding. But when I first started doing it, that wasn't necessarily the case. There's a lot of favoritism. Kind of like, this is my crew, this is what we got going, and you can't get in on it. You know, I'm not going to help you, definitely not for free. When it's like, we're all trying to get to the same place, for the most part, and it's power in numbers. You know, so like, if I come out to the Soul Puff open mic and perform and talk about my open mic there, I need to allow the person putting on that open mic to come do the same thing in my space, and it has to be reciprocal, you know what I'm saying? And all those people, those faces that maybe don't come out to my event, now are familiar with me and what I do, and now they know what's going on, so they might start coming out. Like, just stuff as simple as that, like saying, okay, look, you can come here and do this, I can come to your space and do that. And now we're building our networks and bringing out more people to our events, because now more people know about it. You know what I'm saying? It just makes it more diverse when everybody can kind of be cordial and work together. Because, you know, I might be doing a Thursday night open mic. If somebody else on the Louisville scene does a Thursday night open mic, that takes away from what I can do. So we coordinate with each other. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, it's like, hey Sasha, you doing a Thursday night open mic? Well, I'm gonna do a Wednesday night. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to stepping on your toes and doing another Thursday night.
Now, I've heard some talk, and I'm from the outside of the music business, but it doesn't sound cheap to be an artist, because you got to pay promoters, you got to pay DJs, you got to pay for studio time, you have to pay all these to get onto shows. I mean, you have to pay it for a lot of stuff. How does an artist make money in this town?
I don't make a lot of money. I don't make a lot of money at all, and I'm probably one of the most well-known hip-hop artists in the city. And I don't even do that well financially. So it's more about kind of doing what I started to do and work around the scene. Kind of, I had to build a platform, So now I have, with my weekly open mic, a weekly income. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I wasn't getting paid, little to nothing to come out and do a performance in someone else's event. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to pay artists when you have a minimal amount of people coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're putting on an event, you're paying a venue, you're paying a DJ, a person to work the door, like those artists that are going to bring out people, you know what I'm saying? They want to be paid, like at this point I demand to be paid, but there was a time when that just wasn't the case. And when I started demanding it, less people started hitting me up. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely hard to navigate within the local scene, but like at this point I'm dedicated to changing that and just kind of trying to focus on just letting more and more people know that these things are going on and it's worth your time to come out and pay your $5 to support an artist like myself, support the headliner for the evening, you know what I'm saying? And then when we get on stage in my events, we announce other events that are going on throughout the week or within the month, so you can know what else is going on, like, because usually people come out and they have a good experience and they're like, whoa, like I like this, like I gotta do this thing more often. So just a combination of word of mouth, being able to save up some money to get the promotions in the right places, you know what I'm saying? We need to be able to be on radio, we need to be able to make an announcement on B96.5 and 98.9, letting them know we have the Vibe on Thursdays, but to get to that point.
I think there's two misconceptions, and you can tell me if you think I'm wrong. The first misconception is that artists just do it for the love of art, and I think that they do, but ain't nobody gonna turn down money either.
No, not at all.
So I think that that's part of what people think, and I think the second part of that is that people don't think about how many people you have to pay to get airtime or to get stage time, to bring merch to a show, all that upfront cost. Pressing CDs or making T-shirts or whatever. So that's what I think. People just don't give it a thought.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, they're oblivious to it. And that's unfortunate. But it's definitely a combination of both. I feel like my overwhelming love for it keeps me underpaid, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, at the end of the day, if I want to go rock out a show, if you don't have anything to pay me, or if you only have $50 to $100 to pay me, I'm really going to consider coming out because I love to do it. But at the same time, I'd like to do my music full time. I don't want to have to go work 9 to 5 and then be an artist by night. I want this to be everything I do because what I really love. So in order for that to work, I have to be getting paid a certain amount. Like, I have to be able to pay my bills, you know what I'm saying, first and foremost, and take care of myself. And that's hard to do. That's definitely hard to do.
So I know that you have other creative ventures too. You have a blog that you kind of brought up. Tell me a little bit about that. Oh, you're fine. I'm just going to rephrase.
Okay. Thismelanin.com. I started this in the spring of last year. And it was just another one of my ventures that I used to create a platform for artists, but in particular, African American artists. There are several blogs in the city that cover local music. You got do502.com. I mean, there's just a bunch of people out there that do things, but I feel like there's this huge conglomerate of African American artists that never get any shine, or there's one or two that get shine, and those are the only ones. And I'm like, whoa, I got like 25 really, 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 really dope people that deserve that shine. So I was just trying to create that platform You know what I'm saying? And I'm still working on this melanin and growing the website. But in addition to music, I want to expand. You know what I'm saying? My vision for the website is to not only kind of highlight black artists, hip-hop artists and musicians, but to highlight everything in the black community that I feel like just doesn't get enough shine, you know what I'm saying, or enough recognition. So definitely still looking for staff members to kind of build up that platform and really do what I wanted to originally do with it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about not what it's like just to be an African-American hip-hop artist, but to also add to that being a female.
Yeah.
Do you think that adds a whole component to it that needs some attention?
I mean, a huge component. Like hip hop in general, not just in Louisville, is misrepresented. Like when you look at music in general, you see, I don't want to say 50-50. I'm not sure the exact statistic, but you see plenty of female artists, singers, and musicians, and plenty of male artists, singers, and musicians. But when it comes to hip hop in particular, it's dominated by males. It just is. And it's hard to operate as a female in a genre of this sort.
What do you think contributes to that? I'm sorry. What do you think contributes to that, and what do you think needs to change about that?
I think how hip-hop portrays women is definitely one of those issues, because a lot of times I find myself in a space maybe with a man trying to do business, and as opposed to us being able to sit down and conduct business, it turns into, well, can I take you out sometime? Or, you know what I'm saying? It's like you don't get respected within your role as a woman. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're good for sex and romantic relationships, and outside of that, you know, this is my way to sit down with you and have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to you legitimately wanting to work and do business with me. What we do to change that, we have to make women feel comfortable in hip hop. And I don't really know the answer. Like, I know our men definitely need to show a little bit more respect in their music to women. Make women feel welcome within hip hop. Without feeling like they have the pressure to be this sex symbol. I think we have that issue within hip hop. Like any female artist that does make it in the industry and does well, they're always a sex symbol. You know what I'm saying? Contrary to a few legends that kind of were able to operate, but they held their foot down. You know what I'm saying? And made it clear, like, you're not going to run over me. You know what I'm saying? And they were respectable people, and that's kind of what I'm working towards doing. But we shouldn't have to be so respectable to the point where we can't be ourselves.
Yes. You know? Now, in that regard, with you being who you are and where you're positioned and being somebody who's relatively well known in this community, do you see yourself as a role model for young people?
Fortunately and unfortunately, yes. I think that just comes with it, and it's kind of hard, you know what I'm saying? Because when you think about being a role model, you think about setting like this ideal example. I struggled with that for a long time, you know what I'm saying? Because I like to enjoy my life and have a good time the way I like to do it. And I think it's just about in being a role model. I want to be a role model for mostly African American girls, you know what I'm saying? To just be comfortable with being who they are. Like, I just have to be who I am and be confident and know that what I'm doing is positive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It definitely is. And just focusing on doing what you love, like, it's good for your health.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I think that's kind of where I play a role in being a role model. And I think I'll grow within that too. It's still kind of a struggle, you know what I'm saying? When you have literally like high school girls who will approach me and kind of like, "You're Sasha Renee and I love your song," and da-da-da-da. And knowing that they are listening and paying attention, kind of like, it's like walking on eggshells when you go in the studio and create your music, you know. It's like, should I be like super respectable? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, should I only preach like super positive messages in my music, or should I completely be true to who I am and where I'm at in life? It's kind of
There's a struggle between those two
I
things.
juggle between those two.
Yeah, I can see that, because on the one hand, you want to be real and you want to keep it real to yourself, because that's what people are actually picking up on, and that's what people are respecting. But at the same time, knowing that you have other eyes on you, you know, I can see where that would be kind of a hard line to walk.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, so talk to me a little bit about any other venture, because I think you've got other creative ventures, and I don't know much about what else you've got going, but I know that you've got other adventures that are going on, or things that you're trying to get started up.
Definitely. So I really want to concentrate on the ventures I have going currently. So I'm really concentrating on finding a way to expand the weekly open mic, the Vibe open mic every Thursday, and finding a way to expand on my blog, thismelanin.com. But what I've been doing on the side is, because I've just learned so much, and I want to help other talented artists like myself try to get to the next level. Like, let's all be a community and help each other. So what I've been doing is managing artists. That's something that I do as another way to create an income for myself. So offering those services, teaching artists how to manage and promote themselves, because I haven't always done it myself, but I've always been most comfortable doing it myself. So just letting them know it's possible. You don't have to go out there and pay a manager, or necessarily go and pay a PR right now. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have it, you don't have it. So it's about what I do is for a minimal price, kind of sit down with artists and consult, and try to teach them how to promote and manage themselves, and how to navigate within this scene here in Louisville, how they can start kind of thinking about getting shows and networking outside of Louisville. And my biggest project with that right now is an artist by the name of Corey Black. She's an R&B singer from here in Louisville, and me and her are working really, really close. And over the last year, she's gone 0 to 100. You know what I'm saying? So doing that, visuals. So do graphic design and flyers and stuff like that. It's another way to make some money on the side, you know what I'm saying, as an independent artist. And eventually I want to be able to quit that 9 to 5, so I'm doing all of these other things. And I kind of learned how to do them because I was an artist with no budget that needed to make something happen. So, you know what I'm saying, if I was having a show, I don't really want to put it in my budget to pay another graphic designer $50 to create the visual for the event.
Yeah.
How can I sit down and learn how to do this by myself? You know what I'm saying? And so I took years doing that. So now I'm at a level where I can kind of teach other people how to do it and get paid for it. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Let's see. Gosh, I have so many questions I really want to ask you. How can people find you if they go looking for you on social media?
Sasha Renee Music. I mean, of course you could do a basic search and just kind of look up Sasha Renee, but if you want to go right to the source, just Sasha Renee Music on Facebook, Sasha Renee Music on Twitter, Instagram, doing the Snapchat thing now. I know fans like to really get intimate because I follow Bryson's Snapchat, which we worked together, you know what I'm saying? I was here working with him in the studio when he was here in Louisville back in 2012, 2013. We were side by side, so shout outs to him. He really helps to make the dream real for a lot of us artists who are still within Louisville, navigating on the local scene. So social media, Sasha Renee Music, just SoundCloud. That's where you can find music directly, free downloads. And I always tell people, if you really want to help support and spend some money, SashaReneeMusic.com is the official website.
Okay, fantastic. Now the last question I normally ask just about everybody that I interview is really not a question at all. I just kind of turn the floor over and I give you an open forum to say anything that you want to say to anybody you want to say it to about any topic. And we don't really do a lot in the way of censoring. We'll edit for content or not really edit for content, but edit for time. But this is your chance to say anything.
Okay. The pressure is on. I'm definitely going to make it to the next level as an artist. And I want people to know I won't be here in Louisville that much longer. You know what I'm saying? I'm constantly working towards my dreams, and I do plan and will make them a reality. I don't want to do it alone, which is why I'm still here kind of focusing on helping other people build up, because I'm all about community. You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm not the only talented person here. And other people need love too, you know what I'm saying? And if you spread love, you receive. It comes back around. Karma works good and bad, right? So I'm definitely going to keep spreading love and doing what I have to do, and I'll definitely be making it to the next level. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all might as well come kick it with me, you know what I'm saying, and network with me while I'm here in you know, just kind of enjoy it.
Okay, tell me this very last thing that I forgot to bring up.
Okay.
Tell me how people can actually come out to your open mic nights. Where can they find you? You know, what time, what date? Tell me.
Okay, so the Vibe Open Mic is every Thursday. Currently, it is at Coconut Beach. It's the old Tailgaters. I know when I was growing up, it was Tailgaters right across the street from Cardinal Stadium every single Thursday at 9 o'clock. If artists want to sign up to perform, they can send an email before Thursday because the list fills up pretty quick. But the Vibe Open Mic at gmail.com. Other than that, if you want to come out and support a few of my other shows that are not weekly, you know, stuff that's kind of on the agenda later down the line, just follow me on social media at Sasha Renee Music.
Okay, fantastic. Chris, do you have anything to add or ask?
That's it.
Okay, well, I think that should just about do it. Again, this is Cheryl, 502 Revue, and we are with the lovely and talented Sasha Renee.